Well everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 16 Pro and see how this particular phone holds up against the Google Pixel 9. Now, number one, the big thing I will definitely tell you is that when it comes down to both these, the Google Pixel 9 is slightly cheaper than the iPhone 16 Pro. So depending on which particular device you want to go ahead and pick up, it might make a little bit more sense to go and buy something like a Pixel 9 if you're trying to save some money. But the 16 Pro could theoretically have some, better features here and there between them. So take a look at both these throughout this whole entire video. Number one, if you want to pick up either one of these devices, links will be down in the description below. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside between both, the Google Pixel 9 on the front side of this particular panel does have a pretty decent display. The front side of the Pixel 9 is giving you a 6.3-inch OLED display, and this panel is 120 Hz, it gets up to 1800 nits of brightness, and it gets up to 2700 nits of peak brightness, which is really cool. It has an always-on display, and it barely has any bezel on it. Like, of course, it has a little bit of bezel here and there, but it's virtually, bezel-less, which is really cool. And it really is one of the biggest advantages of buying something like a Google Pixel 9. It's a really, really, really good panel on it for the price of this phone that you're basically paying. On the iPhone 16 Pro, this phone is essentially kind of giving you a little bit of a different type of design. So it's one that you might be familiar with if you have an iPhone like this already. It's a 6.3-inch LTPO Super Retina XDR OLED display. So it's 120 Hz as well, which is really cool. But this phone is also going to be giving you essentially a 2000 nits of brightness display. It's a dynamic island, which is really nice, but kind of the problem that you're going to be experiencing within this type of phone is that it's not quite as bright as something like the Pixel 9. Personally for me, I think something like the Pixel 9's display is really, really nice. It is better in most ways. The 16 Pro's panel is still very, very good though too, but probably the Pixel 9 wins on the front display perspective. On the bottom, you're getting USB Type-C ports on both flat sides, basically on both these phones too, which again is pretty nice to have. You're getting a frosted glass back on both these too, which again is another really cool advantage. And I feel like both these devices are going to be giving you a pretty good time and a pretty good experience when it comes down to it. And like I said, for one, I'm a big fan of the way both these phones look. On the back of the iPhone 16 Pro, you're basically getting a triple camera setup with a LiDAR sensor. With the Pixel 9, you're getting a dual camera setup. So at the end of it, there are some advantages for the Pixel 9 on the outside. You're getting a brighter display and a better display probably. You're going to be getting kind of maybe, I wouldn't say better quality of a phone, but you're going to be getting things that are more flagship type of features. Things like reverse wireless charging. That is something that is actually very nice. I can reverse wirelessly charge other devices from my Pixel 9, but I cannot reverse wirelessly charge other devices from my iPhone 16 Pro. I can reverse wire charge them, but not wireless charge them. So at the end of it, when it comes down to that particular side, I would probably say the iPhone 16 Pro is probably one of those devices that feels much more expensive in the hand. It feels like a more premium, more expensive phone, but the Pixel 9 just has a few more flagship features that kind of stand out. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there. On top of that, when it comes down to that price tag side, the iPhone 16 Pro is a more expensive device than the Google Pixel 9. So if you were somebody who wanted to go and save a little bit of money, you could theoretically go through and buy something like a Google Pixel 9 and save a little bit of money from that brand new perspective. But even from that used perspective, you'd also basically be saving money in a few different ways as well. With something like the Google Pixel 9, because this phone has already been out for a little bit of time now, you can actually go through and save a bit of time by going through and essentially, buying something like a Google Pixel 9. So like I said, that might be an advantage there, but for the most part still, something like an iPhone 16 Pro, even in the used market, you might be able to save a little bit of money from that particular side as well. Now on top of all those things, when it comes down to the cameras, the Google Pixel 9 is going to be giving you that dual camera setup, 50 megapixel wide, 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera, where the iPhone 16 Pro is going to be giving you a wide, ultra-wide, and telephoto lens. So you are getting an additional telephoto lens inside of something like the iPhone 16 Pro, which that is kind of an advantage for that type of phone. You theoretically have more zooming in capability inside of the iPhone 16 Pro than the Pixel 9. But on the flip side, the Pixel 9 is still giving you a really, really good camera at that as well. You're getting 4K at 120 frames per second on the back side of both these phones. On the front side, you're getting 4K at 60 frames per second. So those are some very, very good resolutions to be able to film in inside of both these devices. and they're both like neck and neck when it comes down to it. So I would probably say when it comes down to the camera quality between both these phones, there's a pretty high chance where something like the Google Pixel 9 is going to be giving you probably a really, really good experience, and it might be like 95% of what the iPhone 16 Pro is. The 16 Pro is going to be giving you like a little bit more capability here and there, but even at that, I would still probably say something like the iPhone 16 Pro does a really good job against the Pixel 9 and vice versa. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there too. Now when it comes down to the software longevity between both of these phones are going to be supported with software for a long period of time. Meaning that whether you go through and buy one of these phones today, or you buy one of these phones tomorrow or next year, both of these phones are going to be supported with software for years and years and years come from this point on. So that is something that I personally love about both these devices. Being able to go through and buy my iPhone 16 Pro or buy my Google Pixel 9 means that both these phones are going to be supported with software for years and years and years now. And that is a really just amazing thing that I love about this device. So from that side, both these are supported for a long time. But the interesting thing is, when it comes down to the battery sizes, the Google Pixel 9 has a 4,700 mAh battery, where the iPhone 16 Pro has a 3,582 mAh battery. So that right there in and of itself tells me that the Pixel 9 from a battery size perspective definitely wins. But it's, even from actual use case perspective, you could be potentially seeing better battery life from the Pixel 9 than the iPhone 16 Pro. But from real world use, you're still going to be seeing really, really good battery life from your iPhone 16 Pro as well. I've seen it firsthand. I own my 16 Pro. I've done a lot of battery tests against that phone too. And I've had nothing but really, really good times and really good things, reviewed about the 16 Pro's battery life as well. Finally, the performance. The iPhone 16 Pro is going to be giving you that Apple A18 Pro chipset inside of it with 8GB of RAM. With the Pixel 9, it's going to be giving you that Tensor G4 chipset inside with 12GB of RAM. So without a doubt, from a performance perspective, once again, I think the Google Pixel 9 gives you a really good time from the performance perspective of that device. It's very fast, has a bunch of power inside of it, and being able to go through and basically have that type of capability, I think it is a really, really nice thing going on for that phone. With something like the iPhone 16 Pro, that is also a very good device too. Like, that's an excellent performing phone, and it really is the best performing device that you can basically buy. When it comes down to both these phones, both these devices are going to be very, very fast, and you're not really going to you're not going to have too many issues when it comes down to either one of these devices when it comes down to it from the performance side. So at the end of the day, both these phones are some of the fastest performing phones you can buy. They're very good, they're both very performance heavy, and they're both almost perfect. I would probably say that the Pixel 9 has some more flagship features when it comes down to it, but the 16 Pro is a really good performing device too, and I genuinely do think if you are going to go through and pick up a phone, you can't really go wrong with this type of device. It is a very good performing phone, and I do think this is a really, really good performing phone when it comes down to it. So that's kind of how both these phones kind of compare. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.